Right, this is going to be fun. Every so often, I get sent things to review. The way I do it is, if I like the item, if they send me something that I go, yep, I like this item, I will put it in a review and I'll go through everything I like about it, but I'll also tell you everything I don't like about it. In the case of AEGs and whatever, I literally take them all apart. The stuff I'm reviewing for somebody right now, I cannot take apart. And also, where I'm busy, it's easier to give this out to somebody else to test for me. You've seen me do it with the Novrich stuff, you've seen me do it with the Spectre Arm stuff. It's easier for me to rip it all apart, put it back together, and give it to people to use. It comes back to me, and I get to tell you that, yeah, it's still working. I take it apart again. Yep, here's what's broken here, or not broken here, or this is fine, that is not fine, whatever. Again, I can't do it with this. But if an item is crap, I don't do a review of it. Because it could just be that one thing was shonky, but I'm also not trying to destroy people's businesses. If something is shit, I always offer to send it back, and normally they say, no, don't bother, all right? I have one in question. I will do this, a little bit mean of me. They said, would you like to test some night vision? And I was like, I'd love to test some night vision. And they sent me night vision. And it works. It works perfectly. It works absolutely perfectly. For the 100 quid, 130 quid you're paying for it, it does work perfectly. It's a digital camera inside a plastic shell, but it does do exactly what it's meant to do, and for the price point, you can't go wrong. Is it usable for Airsoft? No. Can't use it for Airsoft. Can't do it. Not possible. Because that screen, let's have a look, let's fucking comes to all the stuff. This is not what I'm reviewing, by the way. It's got a screen. When you turn it on, where is it? That one there. Charging port, USB thing, yep, great, all good. Trouble is, how is this useful for Airsoft? Because it's a screen, you've got to be viewing it from this far back at least. Like, we're talking at least that far. It's my fucking wrist, right? That means you've got to walk around with your hand like this and a gun like that. It doesn't work. This is not useful for Airsoft, not in any way, shape or form. So I didn't do a review of it because I didn't do a review of it. Does it work? Yeah. Is it good for Airsoft? No. So I let them know that I was having struggles with it, and there was not a lot that I could really do to review it, and they literally didn't say anything to me. Okay, fair enough. No problem. Offered to send it back. No, didn't answer me. There we go. So, that's that. You've seen that I got, this is years ago now, I got sent this for review. This is brilliant. I use this every day. It's fucking excellent. I recommend everybody gets one of these Ace Tech fucking chronos. They're brilliant. They're so good. Everybody needs one. Seriously, these are good. That's how I go about doing my reviews. Vector Optics got hold of me and they said, do I want to do a review? And basically it means that anyone who uses my code can get 10% off. And yeah, I also get 5% of the sale, which goes into a side account. If I want to buy anything from these guys, I can. And when there's enough in there, I will buy something off there to give away, because I'm not really doing this bit to make the money. I already get to keep 2 scopes, so, you know. I'm a scope person. I love a scope. The first one they sent to me, I mean, it's crystal clear. It looks and feels awesome, but they sent me the wrong thing. This is for people who want to hunt rats, and you've got to have your eye right up against the piece so that you can actually see. And again, that's no good for Airsoft. I did eventually put this onto an air rifle, and it's proper good on an air rifle, but you do have to have the right kind, like a rat catcher or something. For that kind of thing, it's perfect. For Airsoft, not perfect. And I said to them, yeah, I can't do a review on that one because it's not perfect for Airsoft. I need to be able to do things that are perfect for Airsoft. If I can get this back in. And they went, yep, no problem. So this is the one that I'm reviewing. This went out with one of my regular customers, and he's someone who decided to start doing his own tech stuff. And he brought me one round that he said, yeah, can you check this over, make sure it's all okay? And I literally pulled the trigger and went, it sounds great. I'm not going to take this apart and charge you money because you've done a fucking good job. This kid's on point, he knows what he's doing. He is very meticulous, and yeah, it's nice when you get to see that. So he brings you something and go, no way, you'll get this back in the same condition as what it went, in the way it came to me. I don't know. So yeah, he took it out and he used it for the day. He, like me, likes a prank, and he has put a lot of nasty tape on it. I gotta be honest, he did tell me he'd done that, but I forgot that he did it. So I'm just gonna take all that off. I guess that shows that it's used. The first thing you're gonna notice is that this is fucking ridiculously huge. When the guys at Vector said, okay, what should we send you? I said, I want you to send me something that is absolutely ridiculous. I want it to be so big that it's ridiculous. And that's exactly what they sent me. They followed it down to a fucking T. And within 3 days, I had one of these in my hands. And I love a scope. There's something about a scope that if you've got the right scope, it really sets off the piece that you're doing. And I am all about aesthetics and functionality and trademarks. Now, I don't know how you do it, but I won't use a Tavor if I'm playing Modern Warfare or whatever the fuck game it is, the ones that I'm bored after 15 minutes. I don't use the Tavor, even if it might be the best gun in the game, or the Chris Vex, because I don't like him in real life. I don't know why, I can't break that slot in my mind. But I will use a P90 that might not be as good, or an MP5 that might not be as good, because that's the one I like the look of. Aesthetics are everything to me. And so when they sent this over, and it's got this heffing great big fucking wide tube, I was so pleased, because it's just fucking meaty. You probably want to know how it works though. The reticule, nice and simple. When you're doing airsoft stuff, you're never going to get the rounds directly in the center every time. Watch any fucking video on YouTube from snipers. Don't watch any sniper videos on YouTube, okay? Just be a real person. I'm disgusted that you even watch me, if I'm being honest. And it's crystal clear. Let's pop it. The reticule is crystal clear. Let's take a little look over there, all right? I'm going to try and keep it as steady as possible. Over there is a forklift. Don't know if you can see it or not. There's also somebody walking by. Check this out. Ready? I can read the registration on that, what is a forklift. Let me read it. The registration is P022YFH. Can you even see the registration plate over there? Seriously? That's pretty fucking impressive. Wow, this is difficult. I'm a shaky, drunken old fuck. Come on. Now, with much big scope comes much big requirements for range. The chap using this struggled a little bit because everything that he was shooting at had to be at the furthest reach of his bolt action rifle. And this is where a little bit of skill comes involved. You want to make sure that you know where you're shooting, you know. Now, if your scope, my drawing skills, as always, completely on point. If your scope is there and you're looking through it that way, there's your eyeballer, and that is where the ghillie cunt lives. So the rifle itself is here. The projectile's coming out the bottom. You're seeing through there. There has to be a point where this crosses over. So let's assume this one is going to go directly forward. This would have to go up. And you've got to find the point of target. If you're at shorter ranges, and generally speaking, playing Airsoft, I don't even look at the reticule. I just focus on the bit I'm shooting at, twist the little knobs on top until it's going kind of in that area. And that's the area that I look at. It's all about knowing how your scope works. Now, Airsoft guns are different. All right, reason being, the scope faces forward, the rifle is here, and an unfortunate fact of life is that our projectiles don't go straight forward, they go forward, up and down to get the most range out of it. This scope is suited for basically the furthest range that you want to get to. If you're rocking 2.3 up to about 4 joules, then this is going to be the size of scope you want to be going with, because the projectile is going to be moving forward. Fuck off. Because the projectile is going to be going forward, then up, and down. That's how you get the maximum range out of it. You can make it, as long as you set it up correctly, you can make it so it's hitting here and a bit more direct. That's fine. You can have it a shorter range where it's just going forward. But you get the most out of it, if you want to get the furthest range you can with an airsoft gun, the projectile is going forward, then up, then down. You're basically lobbing it. And this is where this scope is set for. This is a big fucking unit, and it's way, way, way beyond any requirement in the UK. I wanted the biggest scope they've got because I think they're cool. That's why I asked for the biggest scope. If you get a short dot, for example, then these two ranges are absolutely perfect. It depends how you want to use it and what you're using it for. There's always a point on a rifle where that needs to be crossing over. What's it, parallax? Airsoft guns work differently. So think about that before you buy. This is going to be going on to a 2.3 joule DMR because there's a couple of sites near me, or nearish to me, that do allow that, and if I were going to be using it, I'd be whacking it onto a big fat DMR. But I've also got a fair few bolt action rifles I could pop this on and get the full usage out of it. Now, I've done a little test with it. Let's fuck that off. I have left this in the cold and brought it in. It barely fogged up. I've left it in the warm and brought it into the cold, and it barely fogged up. What I haven't done is smacked the fuck out of it because it's expensive, and I don't want to just smack the fuck out of it. It's not like an AG, I can repair it. This, I can't repair it. So I'm not going to smack the fuck out of it. But you've got all of the adjustment. Providing you've got the correct rifle to put this on, this is fucking ideal. So for all you guys that get proper bolt action rifle power, and as you may have heard me say before, personally, my ideals in the UK would be 1.1 joule to 1.2 joule on anything that can do semi-full or burst. Semi-automatic only, I'd be saying 2.3 joule. That's just the way I think it should be done. That way you get the most out of the item you're using. Then bolt action rifle, 3 joule. That's how I feel it should be in the UK. That's you get a definite gap where the power ratio is useful, you know? That's just my thoughts. That's how I'd like to have it. It's not going to happen. So let's whap it onto something and see if you like it. This video is nearly done. So I'll show this off a little bit now. It is fucking heavy. It is Cerakoted in smoked bronze. It's fucking beautiful, as you can see. I've had it Cerakoted, and I've also had it lasered with very particular trademarks. And this is running a mid-cap, but it's also running a 2.5 Retro Arms gearbox, and yeah, it's one of those hop units. So we're not going to talk about that. But how does it look on this gun? Can you see it all right? I'm going to have to get these rings fucking burnt bronze now. this was the big scope that I did have on it, versus, and I cannot lie, this is possibly the biggest and heaviest gun I've ever done, and I can't wait to do the video on it. Ah, Christ. Oh my God, look at that. It's big on a Barrett, okay? It's big on a fucking Barrett. Even in Barrett terms, that's a big fucking scope. Let me see if I can zoom this out a little bit. Right, the quality is now going to turn to cheese, because I've had to zoom the camera out so fucking far. It's fucking big, innit? That's a big fucking scope. That's a big fucking scope. So, if your idea of a fun day is a great big fucking huge gun and a great big fucking huge scope, this is a fucking great scope. But it is a very big fucking scope. Ah, fuck me dead.